for the ball game. Touchdown! Touchdown! Michael Jenkins! Lobs it to the end zone! Touchdown!
Braxton Miller's loose spin move. Miller
In the end zone! Oh, what a catch! And he's got an opening. Elliott off to the races. Can they catch him?
It's Ohio State together at the mountaintop. Champions of college football.
The Ohio State of Mind podcast, hosted by Josh Keatley and Chris Wright.
Welcome to the Ohio State of Mind podcast. I'm your host, Josh Keatley, and we are back. And I am with Donovan James, Indiana beat writer for an editor for Hoosier State of Mind. Check him out. Check his workout. Donovan, thanks for showing up. Thanks for being here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, man. It's good to be back. College football's back, baby. Let's go.
College football is back. Last week was great. Last week was an appetizer. Now we got the whole meal, dude. I'm excited. We were supposed to have our Big Ten fantasy football draft, but with Chris being in the Philippines and me and having my baby, it's just we couldn't make it work. But I damn sure wanted to make sure that we got week one picks out. We're going to go over the Ohio State-Texas game, and then we're going to go over game by game for the Big Ten. So, I mean, I guess that's it. Let's dive into the big game, right? The big noon kickoff. Arch Manning versus Julian Sand, and what's going on there. Texas is coming to the Horseshoe. Ohio State is favored by 1.5 points. Donovan, what are your initial thoughts on the game?
Is it 1.5? Is that that's changed a little bit? 1.5.
What was it originally? It was like 2.5. Right?
Like 2.5. I've seen. Well, yeah, 2.5. 2.
Yeah.
I saw it drop to 2, and now it's 1.5. Ohio State favorite.
Yep.
Man, this is. I'm like almost sad we have to like watch this game at noon, but I know that's the Big Ten thing to do is have it. I don't know why. Because man, could you imagine if this was at the Horseshoe at 8:00 at night? Oh my god!
You know it will be next year. You know at Texas it will be at night.
Oh yeah, definitely will. Well, this was supposed to be originally Monday night or Sunday.
Yeah.
Texas didn't want the AD or something. But no, I'm excited, man. You got all the NFL talent, all the All-Americans coming in from last year's 2025 class, like a Devin Sanchez, and just all these guys coming in. I'm so excited to see this game. Kind of honestly happy as I knew a little bit on the flip side, just because wake up, watch game day, watch Corso's last time putting on that headset. We know he's going to put on Ohio State. He's put it on the most times ever. But I'm excited, man, just for the players. Like, that's what I live for, just to see the coaching matchups. I love Sarks. I love Day. We got to see this matchup just, not too long ago, really earlier this year, I guess. A lot of different components and different players in this game. Arch Manning versus Julian Sand, former five-star quarterbacks. And Jeremiah Smith, who I think is the best player overall in the country. I think the best edge rusher in the country is Colin Simmons of Texas, underclassman at least. I know he can't come out for the draft people. Anthony Hill is one of the best linebackers, if not the best in the country. I mean, there's just so many. Devin Sanchez was my number one corner coming in the class. I think he's going to be big time. I don't know how much he's going to play. I would defer to you on that. I don't know what his playing time has looked like this spring, but that kid's special. Caleb Downs is the best safety in college. I mean, it's just like everything. Downs might be the number one player in the country too. Yep. Honestly, number one overall draft pick or number one defensive player chosen. So there's so many guys that you can look at and just go for it. And the game, like I said, is going to be different from last year. No Will Howard and Barron and Jack Sawyer. So Quinn Ewers is gone. So this is fun, man. This is what scheduling. This is awesome. This is why you schedule these games, and I think it's going to be a close one. I don't know if I should give my prediction quite yet or should I wait, but it's going to be really.
Go ahead.
What did I have? I've been going back and forth on it, man, honestly. Because when I first saw this matchup on paper, I said Texas immediately just because of what they brought back. I think Ohio State lost a lot, man. Like, we can honestly all agree on that. I know they have so much talent coming in, and they have 5-star after 5-star after 5-star, but to lose the core players like that, it's not. You can't just replace 5-stars with like a Jack Sawyer type attitude or JTT type attitude. Those guys were the foundation of that national championship roster, and they've been through so much. You can't just replace that like that just because you have 5-stars. On field you can, but not in the locker room and stuff like that. So that's a big thing to me on the bad side. I love saying I don't think he'll play bad. I think both quarterbacks will play pretty good. I think they'll kind of hide them a little bit, if that makes sense. Not ask them to do too much. Little worried about Texas running the ball, but I like Baxter coming back healthy. They got Wisner, running the ball, so that it should be good there. Jedrick Gibson's a good running back. Kind of worried about Ohio State running the ball. They lost 2 of the top running backs in the country last year, so even matchup, really even, man. But honestly, if I had to pick, they're gonna kill me on this show because I know it's the Ohio State of Mind podcast, but I'm leaning towards Texas right now in overtime. Texas in overtime. I think Arch will make a few more plays than Julian. And I think the defense will make a few more plays, especially up front. When you have guys like Colin Simmons up front and, like I said, Anthony Hill back there on that defense, I think you're going to have to make plays. And individually, guys are going to have to make plays. And I think Texas has more guys right now. If this game was being played in, November, I would pick Ohio State because I think they would be ready by then with all they have to replace. But right now, I have to go Texas. I mean, they almost beat them last year, and Ohio State was a lot better than last year. Texas was one non-Jack Sawyer fumble away from being right there. I mean, they were right there until that fumble happened. So, and I think this Texas team is better than last year, and I think Ohio State is not as good as last year. So therefore, I'm going to pick Texas. And Coach Sarks, I love Coach Sarks. That's my guy.
You love Sarks. So you're
I love K too, though. I'm glad he got his natty, by the way. I'm going to brag about that for you all the time.
Thank you. So your official pick is Texas with the 1.5.
Yeah, I'll go Texas 31-28 in OT.
All right. So obviously I'm going to take Ohio State, and this is a game that I'm actually going to have money on. Okay. I feel really good about this. I don't feel like I'm being biased. When you look at let's evaluate Ohio State's roster. You're right about everything you said. They lose a shit ton. I'm not worried about the running backs at all.
Offensive line too. I didn't even mention that.
I'm not worried about the running backs at all. I think CJ Donaldson is a great back. I think he's actually going to be – I think James Peoples is going to be the starter, but I think CJ Donaldson's probably going to have the more critical role in the offense this year. And that guy proved what he could be West Virginia 2 years ago when he was the bell cow there, and he dealt with some injuries last year. The offensive line, I'm not worried about that either. I mean, the 2 best offensive linemen from last year, Josh Simmons and Seth McLaughlin, those dudes got hurt immediately. I mean, when Seth McLaughlin got hurt before the playoffs and Josh Simmons got hurt early in the season. So the only guy you're really losing is Donovan Jackson, who was a first-round pick, right? So that is a major loss. But that you're not really, when these national pundits talk about the Ohio State offensive line, they act like they're breaking in a bunch of new guys, but they're really not. Austin Severell started in the playoffs. Luke Montgomery started in the playoffs. Tegra Shabula started in the playoffs. Carson Hinsman started in the playoffs. I mean, that's 4 guys right there that started the playoffs. And then you bring in the kid from Rice who's, has first-round ability, and hopefully he can mesh and gel. I'm not so worried about the offensive line. I'm worried about Julian Saint because we don't know what he looks like. Right. We haven't seen him at all. We know that he was very small last year when we did see him. He has an insanely quick release, but as you and I talked about on the phone, what does that mean? Right. So that does make me scared. And then the defensive line, the Ohio State defensive line has me scared, right? Because they lose Sawyer, they lost JPT, they lost Tyleik Williams. I mean, they lost Ty Hamilton. They lost a bunch of dudes.
You got Edric Houston. I mean, they got dudes up there too. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, Edric Houston's a dude. I got to talk to him in the spring, and that guy is every bit the 5-star rating he was. And Bo Atkins is a dude too. That's the transfer they got from North Carolina. Even though it's a late addition, I think that was a big get. I think Logan George is a very quality get from Idaho State. Kenyatta Jackson was a high recruit, very explosive player. He's definitely more explosive than both JTT and Jack Sawyer, but you need more than that, right? So that's not automatic. It doesn't automatically mean he's going to be better than those guys, but there's something to like there. And Caden Curry, yeah, he was the first freshman to play in his class 2 years ago when he was on special teams, just kind of a grinder from Indiana. So there's stuff to like there, but that's my big worry with Ohio State. But we've been talking about Ohio State all offseason. Let's talk about Texas. Arch Manning. I think that Arch Manning is great. He's my number 1 quarterback for next year's draft class as well. He's probably my Heisman favorite, but I don't understand. I don't have any money on that, right? Because we've only seen him in 2 games. He started against UL Monroe and Mississippi State, and he was not good against UL Monroe. So we're as a society, we have decided that he's just going to come into Columbus and what's probably going to be a pretty hostile environment for really his first start and just dominate. And I don't believe that, right? And even if he is good, he still has to overcome quite a bit. I think Texas has really good running backs. I like Wisner. I'm pretty high on Wisner. I think it sounds like I'm higher on Wisner than you because you mentioned Baxter first. But their offensive line.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. They got three guys, though. All three of those guys are 5 stars.
They're all solid. But let's look at the running backs are good. I'm not going to argue that. The running backs are very good. Arch Manning is going to at least be solid. But let's look at their offensive line. They lost 4 starters from their offensive line.
They lost a lot on their offensive line, too. Yeah, they did.
And I don't know who in their situation.
They're another team that Brandon Baker was the number 1 offensive tackle in the country 2 years ago, and he's going to start at right tackle. And he did play a little bit last year. No, they bring back DJ Campbell, so that's the only guy really. And then they are veteran guys, though. They're 2 seniors. Even though they haven't started, they're still kind of veteran-y guys, because they got a redshirt senior, then a redshirt junior starting, and then another senior.
I'm sure that whoever they brought in, like the Texas offensive line, first of all, like you said, they brought in 2 guys with pretty decent experience, and then they have a lot of highly recruited guys. So I'm sure the offensive line is going to be okay. But my point is that there's a lot of folks on the Ohio State offensive line, but really, in retrospect, Ohio State's offensive line is more experienced than Texas's. The thing that I think that the Texas offense, where they're going to struggle at, and no one's really talking about it, is the receivers, right? They lost the 2 best receivers from last year, and they replaced their tight end, who was really good, with the tight end from Stanford, who was okay, right? They brought in a tight end from Stanford. I think they brought in the leading receiver from Stanford last year. Like, they're relying on a couple of transfers to replenish that receiving core. And this Ohio State defensive backfield, I think, is the best defensive backfield in college football. I think you got Jermaine Matthews, a possible first rounder. I think you got David Wilson as a possible first rounder. I think Lorenzo Styles Jr., people are sleeping on him. So I think that people are going to be shocked by how little these guys are open compared to they were last year. Right?
It's funny. No, I'm sorry. That's funny because I just said that was the key matchup was Ohio State secondary versus Texas receivers.
Yeah, and Sarkisian likes to rely on the short game, which is fine. That's great, but I think that also benefits the Ohio State defensive backfield because I just think those guys are such supreme athletes. You're going to be able to just line those guys up and man. There's not a weakness in the Ohio State defensive backfield other than the safety starting opposite Caleb Downs, which is probably going to be Malik Hartford, who is another 4-star recruit, who I'm not worried about at all. Even if they go to a guy like Fahim Delane, who was a true freshman this year, I like that guy's tape. So I'm not really worried about that. You talk about Texas on the defensive side of the ball. Like you said, the linebacker core is great. Anthony Hill's great. Colin Simmons is great. But their defensive backfield – and their defensive line is solid too, right? Their defensive line is solid, but their defensive backfield, they lost their top corner from last year. They lost a safety from last year. They got 2 guys that returned that are pretty solid, but you're also talking about Ohio State receiving core that should be improved from last year. You got Jeremiah Smith, another year older. You got Carnell Tate, and I think Carnell Tate, he's always been on the cusp of breaking now. And now you got Max Clare added to that. With a guy like Brandon Inniss, who a lot of people assume is going to be good. I guess Brandon Inniss is like the Arch Manning of the receiving core for this game, if you will, like where we all expect him to be good. But even if he doesn't show up, that's 3 guys that are probably going to be first or second round picks. I don't foresee the Texas defensive backfield hanging with them. Another thing too is the public really likes Texas. I think 60% or 65% of the public is betting on Texas getting the 1.5 point. I don't get it. I don't understand it at all. So I
think there's more brand name players on Texas, like more guys that you knew from last year. And then there's obviously the quarterback thing, like you just said with Art. And then there's, if you just name top 10 players coming back from last year, you would name probably because you got to think Michael Taffy was an All-American last year. That's the starting safety. So Downs is better, but Taffy's really good. No one's Caleb Downs, but Michael Taffy's great. Muhammad was good, and Barron obviously was a first-round pick, but Muhammad was good too. He's kind of like Ohio State's corner. They both get a lot of penalties. Davison, penalty freak. He's a free athlete, but he's handsy, to say the least. I'm sure you can attest to that.
And that's fair.
But Malik Muhammad is too, who is, in my opinion, the best corner from Texas. He's gonna, they're gonna rotate on Jeremiah Smith, obviously, and they did last year. He only caught 1 pass. I know he's still probably mad about that, even though they won the Natty. He caught 1 or 2 catches, I think, for
Does it 1 caught? He got 1 pass.
One, yeah. So, but it wasn't just Barron. It was a lot of different looks.
I just feel like that's also going to fuel him. Like there's not.
That is going to fuel him. Yeah,
there's
that's
not
going
a
to fuel him.
scenario in my head where I feel like he gets shut out this year. I don't see it, and I am shocked by the amount of people that are
No,
right.
he's the Heisman favorite. Well, he's second behind Arch, I think, to win.
Yeah, exactly. That's the weird thing. Like you got a guy
he's going to get his. Yeah, he's
last year behind a guy who played 2 games. It's really weird, and you're not wrong. Texas has a lot of name recognition. I know that's got to be the majority of the reason for this, but I mean,
I think that's why. Yeah,
when you log on to the video game, who's the 2 highest rated players in the college football video game? They're on Ohio State.
I would say Downs and Smith, but if like the other 10 players, Colin Simmons was the freshman of the year.
Yeah.
On defense. So, I mean, that's the 2 best players in the country last year.
He won the
Sean Alexander Award.
Yeah, he won over Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah, I mean, I think Smith was probably – well, I'm not going to say who's better. They're 2 different guys, but those were the best 2 players coming in the country, and they were the best players as freshmen, so I'll give them credit. But, I mean, Michael Taffy, like I said, all SEC safety last year. You know about him. Malik Muhammad started last year. He was all SEC. Ethan Burke, I didn't even mention him. Obviously he's going to start on the other side of Simmons.
They're very good. They're
I mean, I think Ryan Wingo and DeAndre Moore are going to just not drop off at receiver. And I know that sounds crazy because it's Golden and what's the other kid that the Browns just picked up? Didn't the Browns get him? He had some – or the Browns didn't get him. No, it was somebody else that got him.
I know who you're talking about. I can't remember the kid's name.
He had some sexual assault SA charges. SA is what you're supposed to say, I guess. But
Isaiah Bond? No.
Yeah, Bond. Where'd he go? Well, he was supposed to be a top pick, but he had some off the field stuff too. But they got to replace those 2 guys.
Oh, the Browns did pick him up. That's hilarious.
The Browns did pick him up, yeah, because there was the jokes with Deshaun Watson. But replacing Gold. But you know what? Like Texas did it the year before. They had 2 guys before, and they replaced them with Bond. I mean, that's just what Texas does. And then
kinda,
I will like Ryan Wingo is probably. Ryan Wingo was the best receiver when they played Georgia last year. Like there was games Ryan Wingo was the best receiver out of those 2 guys because he's more physically. I think he has more upside than Golden and Bond. He could be a top 10 pick one day. He's only a true sophomore. Ryan Wingo's the truth. DeAndre Moore's good. He's the speedster downfield, but I think they're fine at receiver. Emmett Mosley from Stanford. That's who they got. He's going to be the slot receiver though.
I thought the tight end's a transfer too.
Tight end is a transfer too, and that's going to be a little. Gunnar Helm is going to be tough to.
I thought the tight end was from Stanford. No,
tight end is he from Stanford? He's from Cal.
Oh, he's from Cal. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So they got Stanford's top receiver and Cal's tight end.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're loaded, dude. It's a good point though. You make it. I mean, they might drop off at receiver. You might be right, but I think talent wise. I don't think it's much of a drop off. Now, production wise, obviously it is because you're bringing in 2 guys that were backing up Bond and Golden, but
yeah,
I think those guys kind of just step in. Like it's kind of like not on that level, but Ohio State kind of just replaces receivers. Like it's kind of just like what you expect from.
Yeah, but I think that's fair. That's fair, but also Ohio State
I know you guys are wide receiver so I'm not comparing.
No. The difference is that there's always a guy waiting in the wings a little bit. I just feel like
Ryan Wingo is that guy. He was definitely that
wasn't guy. The dude. The guy waiting in the wings at Ohio State's always like the dude the following year.
Okay, right? I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like Marvin Harrison was the dude. And then Jeremiah Smith was the dude. I don't know. I feel like it is, but whatever. Texas is good. I'm not shitting on Texas. Texas is the odds-on favorite to win the national championship. I'm merely pointing out the point. I'm merely pointing out the fact that it's at Ohio State. Yeah. This is the 3rd game Arch Manning is going to start. First game on the road, and the spread is only 1.5 points. I'm all over Ohio State. That's all I'm pointing out. I'm not talking shit about Texas.
That pretty much means if it was a neutral site, Texas might be favored then because they're probably giving you guys a couple points for being.
That's exactly what it means. That's exactly what it means. They're saying Texas would be favored by Texas would be the ones favored by 1.5 points if it was in Atlanta or some shit.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
Crazy. But all right, so is there anything else about the Ohio State Texas game before we move on to the picks?
No, man, I just want to see a good game. Like we just named off, man. Like every guy on the team is just, I'm in heaven. I'm a high school football recruiting guy, so it's like every guy we named. But man, special teams too. I've heard some people say it might come down to special teams. I think I would lean towards Ohio State more on that side. If it came down to special teams, because we see, that Downs, kid is just special. Like seeing him, obviously I lived in Georgia. I got to see him play in high school. He's the truth. Punt returner. Indiana game, right? Put that tape on. What they did versus Indiana on special teams last year, and just I know kicker's kind of shaky sometimes for Ohio State, but
he was hurt all
well, Texas too, though. They lost Burt Auburn, who was honestly sketchy too, but he's gone now. He was there forever. They did get a transfer kicker in from Oklahoma State, I think. Yeah, their kicker, Mason Shipley, is Oklahoma State. He came in. He's at Texas now, so we'll see. That could come into play when it's a game this close, man. It's gonna come. Kick returns. Who's the kick returner for Ohio State? Because I know DeAndre.
It's probably gonna be Brandon Ennis.
That's what I would assume, Brandon Ennis, and then DeAndre Moore for Texas, obviously, is the kicker and punt returner. So we'll see. It's gonna be fun, man, and it's gonna be a good atmosphere. I can't wait. I'm super excited. And again, I don't want Ohio State fans to be mad at me, but like, who the hell is this guy? I haven't seen him in a while. I've never seen him before. But Ohio State, I had them lose by 3 in overtime. It's not like I'm saying they're gonna get their ass kicked. Ohio State's great. I think Ohio State is a lot to make the playoffs. Like they're gonna be a damn good team. I don't want people to think I'm shitting on Ohio State.
I think so too.
They'll be in, even though they're playing and they got a tough schedule, but I think they'll still make the playoffs.
They do have a tough schedule. The beautiful part about this game being so early and out of conference is that Ohio State can lose this game and still win the Big Ten, still go to the playoffs, still win the national. It doesn't really affect anything. So, but
they lost 2 last year, right, in the regular season. It still made it. So.
Yeah.
Don't lose that last one again.
No shit. All right, well let's dive into the rest of these Big Ten games. So obviously we got Ohio on right now. I got the South Florida game on right now. I can't find my remote to change the channel. I actually put money on Rutgers to beat Ohio by more than 15.5. What's the score? You looking at right now?
I can look at it. I'm stuck on Missouri versus Central Arkansas, and it's a blowout. They're playing like 7 quarterbacks.
Dude, that's so funny. We're both stuck.
Actually, Sam Horn just got hurt, so
shit! I'm gonna lose this bet. Rutgers is only winning by 3. They're winning 30.
I don't have it live on my phone. I can look it up. Rutgers is only winning by 3. I told you I was gonna bet on it. I never did.
You said Parker Navarro, baby. Never bet against Parker, and I was wrong.
Ohio's plus 60 or 800 live right now.
Yeah, dude. I fucked up.
Rutgers has a ball with 3 minutes, so they should win.
That I don't care if they win. They need to win by 15.5, whatever.
They're not going to
win. Do you have the score of the Minnesota game? The Minnesota Buffalo game?
Yeah, Minnesota 7-0.
I took Minnesota, given 17.5 to Buffalo. I did not have a lot of confidence in this. I didn't put money on it. Where were you at on it?
I took Buffalo spread, and it's already 7-0. Buffalo does have the ball. They just got it, though, so we'll see.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad bet.
No, it's the second quarter. Sorry.
Buffalo's a pretty tough team. Minnesota's still figuring things out. They got a brand new quarterback. They're pretty one-dimensional. They lost some shit to the portal, so I don't think Buffalo's a bad bet. Like I said, I didn't put any money on Minnesota. The next one is Nebraska. Nebraska is favored by 7 points against Cincinnati and Kansas City. I did not bet on this game either. I do take Nebraska. It makes me a little iffy because I feel like Nebraska is breaking in a lot of new pieces on that offense. Daniel Holgerson is now the full-time offensive coordinator. I think that Cincinnati is probably going to be much improved. Scott Satterfield's fighting for his job. Dante Corleone, their All-American defensive tackles back, and Brandon Sorsby's under the center again. So he should be much improved starting again. Joe Royer, former Ohio State player at tight end, he's kind of a superstar down at Cincinnati. So I'm not putting any money on this, but I do think Nebraska can beat the spread by 7. What do you think?
Yeah, I got it. It's 5.5. It dropped for me for Nebraska.
Ooh. So who are you taking if you have a gun to your head?
I still got like 2 minutes to take it too because it hasn't started yet. I want to take Nebraska. I might put some funny money on it real quick.
Okay, all right.
5.5. Yeah, people are starting to put money on Cincinnati. Maybe it's the Travis Kelce effect. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Next game, Miami, Ohio goes to Madison to take on the Wisconsin Badgers. Wisconsin is favored by 17.5 points. I did place money on this. Luke Fickell's fighting for his job. You know this as well as anybody. Coaches that are fighting for their job, they like to really put their foot on the throat of shitty opponents to make themselves look good. I think this is a good opportunity for that. And I'm excited to see the Billy Edwards era in Wisconsin. So I put money on Wisconsin to beat Miami by 17.5. My only doubt was I do think DeQuan Finn is a pretty solid quarterback. But this is like his third school. He's transferred in 3 years. So it's like I still like Wisconsin more. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'll take Wisconsin to cover. I'll take them to cover this game. Their schedule might be the toughest in the country. When you look at it, just because they got to play everybody in the Big Ten, and they still have to play Alabama in like 2 weeks, so it's rough. And they have to go to Alabama this year. They had him at home last year, so good luck, Fickell. I mean, it's kind of not his fault. Schedule is just brutal, man. I think
he wins enough to keep
Florida have the. I think they go 6-6. I think that should be enough to keep his job for another year, 6-6, especially if they like win a bowl game and say go 7-6. But I could see them going like 4-8, and then they obviously would be fired. I think the best they can do is 7-5, 8-4, because they're not that good. I'm not a Billy Edwards fan. I'm not a fan of what they have. They usually have a really, really good running back that I can kind of bank on. I don't even see that this year, or like All-American line. I just kind of see a little bit of a fall off for them. So 6-6, that's okay, I guess, with that schedule, because there's just some 4 automatic losses in there, 2 maybe games. So, but I think they win tonight, and they win big versus the Red Hawks. So I got them.
So moving on to Friday, the Western Michigan Broncos head to East Lansing to take on the Michigan State Spartans, who are favored by 20.5. I will be having money on this game. I took Michigan State the second year in the Jonathan Smith era. Aiden Childs, another year developed. Western Michigan is not good. So I think this is a good opportunity for them to put their foot on the gas pedal and make something happen. What are your thoughts on that?
You said Western Michigan? Sorry.
Yeah, Michigan State is favored by 20.5. Western Michigan.
20.5?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking Michigan all day. They're not going to be BSing around, because they got to probably host College Game Day next week, or not host. They'll be traveling to Oklahoma.
No, this is Michigan State.
Oh, Michigan State. Sorry, I thought you said Michigan. I'm so sorry. My bad.
You're good.
Well, I guess we'll get to Michigan later, but yeah, Michigan State. Yeah, with Aiden Childs, he's got to stop turning the ball over. That O-line was abysmal last year. They gave up the second most sacks in the conference last year outside of Purdue. I did see that stat. And Aiden Childs has a lot of potential, but just got to protect him. And he's got to, made a lot of rookie freshman mistakes last year. But I can see them covering. Just, they always have a solid defense. I think Aiden Childs plays better this year. I gave him hell last year because how horrible he was. But I think they'll play better in cover. He just didn't have time to throw the ball. And when he did, he's just at the happy feet and seeing ghosts because their O-line was so bad. And you just don't see that.
I didn't think their offensive line was that bad. It just looked like he constantly didn't know where to go with the ball, which is weird too, because Michigan State had some weapons. Jack Mellion at tight end is very good. Nick Marsh came out of nowhere as a true freshman. If it wasn't for Jeremiah Smith, he would have been the freshman of the year in the Big Ten. It's really weird. He was just bad. He was just fucking horrible.
Yeah, he was bad. Not living up to the hype. They should have kept Sam Levitt. They kicked Sam Levitt out of town for Aiden Childs. So
that's the fucking truth. They fucked up.
Aiden Childs was the bigger recruit and the hype and all that. And his sister is famous Olympian athlete and all that cool stuff. But he's not better than Sam Levitt, obviously. But he's got time. He was only a true freshman last year in a situation.
He was a redshirt freshman.
Remember, he's a redshirt freshman. First year starting, so his first year starting last year.
He's the same age as Sam Levitt because Sam Levitt was.
Yeah, you're right. The Levitt's 19, 20 years old.
Yeah,
right there.
So they fucked up for sure. Aiden Childs can still make a huge jump up, but he was.
He can. He has a lot of potential.
So the next Friday night game, Western Illinois travels to Champaign to take on Illinois. There's no spread on this game based off of DraftKings. I don't think either one of us would bet on this game anyways. I would venture to say that the spread is probably 50 points. Western Illinois is horrible. I don't see a major upset here. Do you? I think Illinois is probably going to take care of business and move on, right?
No spread for Western Illinois versus
Illinois? Yeah, I couldn't find one.
I got one. It's 45.5 though. So
I would still take Illinois. Western Illinois is fucking bad. Western Illinois is fine. We played them when I was at Valpo, and that was back when they were tough, and they'd send about 3 guys to the NFL every year.
It's 45 and a half. That's so high, dude. I would take it. I would probably take Western Illinois just for the hell of it. I don't know how bad they are. If you're saying they're that bad, they must be pretty bad if they're that big of an underdog versus Illinois.
Yeah,
that's rough. 63 and a half over under. Yeah, so, I mean, I'm gonna defer. I guess that's over under. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, Illinois, I guess steamrolls win. I could see Illinois winning this game. Yeah, you want to, especially with that coach. He'll run up the score on those boys, dude. He doesn't fucking care. Brett Bielema, he's gonna, because that's a team that a lot of people are picking to make the playoff. That's a lot of people's sleeper teams. Everybody,
I know I am.
That's everybody's sleeper team. They're like, everyone's saying they're the next Indiana. They're not, because they're already ranked 12th. You can't be the next Indiana. You got to be unranked to be the next Indiana. That's the whole point. You can't just be like, they're definitely a team that can make the playoffs. I don't know if I don't have them making the playoffs, but they can.
I do. I like Illinois.
Yeah, I like Luke Altmaier though.
Dude, yeah, he's very good.
He came a long way.
Luke Altmaier guy. Mike Loxley and the Maryland Terrapins are hosting the Florida Atlantic Owls. Maryland is favored by 14.5 points. I have money on this, dude, because I love this bet. I saw this and I immediately put a wad of cash on the Maryland Terrapins. Maryland is notorious for beating the shit out of shitty teams and then falling apart in the Big Ten. Dude, this is such easy money in my eyes.
A lot of people are taking FAU. A lot of people.
I don't know why.
It's funny that you're saying that.
I don't know why, dude.
FAU's got to get offense. Maryland's starting a true freshman at quarterback, right?
Yeah, that kid's fucking good, by the way. That kid's
he is good. He is.
I did not think the gap between him and the kid from Michigan, based off their high school tape, was that fucking bad. When I saw him, I'm like, damn, dude, that guy can fucking ball, bro. That guy, I think he's immediately going to be maybe, I don't know. He might be the best player in the Maryland offense. Well, what do you think? Who you betting on?
What is the spread? 14? I see it 14.5. I would take FAU.
Damn. Okay. All right. I'll mark that down.
It's obviously just to cover, not money line.
Right. Next game, the Ball State Cardinals travel to the Purdue Boilermakers, who are favored by 17.5 points. What's that? What's Lafayette, I believe.
What's Lafayette?
I'm not going to put money on this. Gun to my head, though, I am taking Purdue. It does scare me. They're talking about 2 first-year head coaches. Ball State's fucking horrible, but they did hire a coach from Butler who might make this team tougher. Purdue lost everybody through the transfer portal. Barry Odom's a good coach. I think that's a great hire. I think that Purdue's going to be in the playoff. They're going to be fighting for a playoff spot in 3 years. That's how much I like Barry Odom.
Wow.
But not this year. And his offense kind of takes some time to put in there. It didn't take any time at UNLV, but that's because UNLV was a different caliber of school. I'm not betting on this, but that is where my money would go if I had to, is Purdue, given 17.5. What are your thoughts? Where are you at?
Yeah, they lost another year of Ryan Brown. I don't know.
I like Ryan Brown. When I saw him in person, I saw him warming up and shit. I thought he was great. When he transferred, the part that scares me is he transferred to North Carolina and then came back. So it's like, what the fuck are you doing? But they also got that kid.
He can make some plays. I don't know. They got Nitro Tuggle from Georgia.
Tuggle. There's a couple guys at the
Charles Ross too. They got Charles Ross. From, USC.
Yeah, there's a couple pieces that they got to maybe make that.
Well, he's been at a lot of schools, not just USC. It's like his 4th school, but he was at USC last. This game. But Purdue should cover, man. I mean, they were so bad last year. They can't get much worse than last year. I guess they were 2-10. They got. I mean, obviously, the Indiana game was just the worst thing ever, worst loss in school history. So. I mean, I think they can come out win this game, but it's tough, man, because it's game 1. I don't know if these coaches are going to go all in or kind of just put their new system in little by little. Like, that's why it's tough. When both of these guys are first-year head coaches. I know FAU's coach is a first-year head coach, if I'm not mistaken, too. So
is that Keatley?
Keatley, yeah. So it's hard. But I mean, for the sake of it, I'll say Purdue covers because Ball State's that bad, but 17.5 is a little high for a Purdue team that just rough. They're bad. They're both bad.
Was it Florida Atlantic that allowed 3 sacks a game last year?
I don't know.
It was something like that. All right, now on to the next game. Northwestern takes on Tulane in New Orleans. Tulane is favored by 6 points. I'm not going to bet on this game either. Gun to my head, I'm taking Tulane. They got that Retzlaff kid from BYU who's very good.
He just
But
got
also, he's only been there for like a week. I wouldn't bet on this game though because Northwestern does seem like they added talent to the receiver to the offense. They got Preston Stone, the 5-star quarterback from SMU. They got that wide receiver who had 1 million yards at like North Dakota or some shit. And I don't think that coach is horrible. And like you said, Retzlaff has been there for like 2 weeks. So I'm not putting money on this, but that is where I would go if I had to.
What's the spread for this game?
6.
Northwestern by 6?
No, Tulane by 6.
Tulane by 6. I was like, yeah, it should be Tulane favorite. Tulane's a good team, man. Obviously, that's one of the best Group of 5 schools in the country, if not the best this year. They definitely can make the playoffs with Jake. Because he's a quarterback you kind of can just throw in because he's like a playmaker type of quarterback. And I was right, by the way. Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes are at this game. They showed them like 4 times already.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
See, I told you. Funny money's coming. That funny money is people that don't watch football. They're like, bro, they're at the game. Take them. And I know, Mahomes and Dylan Ryler are close, and that's cool and stuff. But this game, the game's at Arrowhead. No shit.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, well, of course they're going to be there. Duh.
Fuck that game. I'm watching Akron, Wyoming, baby. All right, anyways.
No, sorry. Yeah. Akron, Wyoming. Jesus.
Dude, I got money on Wyoming. So you taking Tulane then?
You got money on every game? Yeah, Tulane big. Tulane big.
Okay. That's fair. Next game, Old Dominion travels to Indiana to take on the Hoosiers, who are favored by 23.5. I'm taking Indiana. I wouldn't bet on this. I would. I for the sake of the pod, gun to my head, I'm taking Indiana, but I'm not putting my real money on this. Indiana, I feel like there's going to be a step back that no one sees coming. Everybody's expecting Fernando Mendoza to be the shit. I don't think he is.
I'm one of those people.
I mean, you're allowed. And then I don't think that Old Dominion is horrible. They brought in a couple transfer running backs that are pretty cool. I don't know. I feel like there's something there. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm not going to bet on it. I'm avoiding this game, but gun to my head, I take Indiana. Where are you at?
I just did obviously a game-by-game analysis for Indiana. I previewed this game. I previewed their quarterback, Cole Joseph, who I really like a lot. He came in last year for Grant Wilson. Grant Wilson is at Indiana now, which is funny. He got benched for Cole Joseph.
Oh, yeah, that's fucking wild.
Yeah. I did a little cool story on that. They've been texting all week. Hopefully they haven't been texting too much, but they're going against each other, I guess, technically. But no, Old Dominion might cover this game. I think I had it as I don't know what your spread was that you said, but I think I had it as a push.
23.5. Can't push, dude.
Well, no, it was mine was 23. When I saw it was 23. It was 22 and a half. It was 22 and a half. So I had it at 23. Yeah. So I had, I guess, them covering right there. But I wouldn't bet on this money line. I wouldn't bet on this game at all. Maybe the over under because I think they're gonna score points. I think Old Dominion's offense is a lot better. I think so too. Yeah, I think Cole Joseph is really good. He does turn the ball over a lot, which worries me, and he's still a younger quarterback. He only started 5 games. He played in 7, but he only started 5. 23.5. I'm looking at it right now. 52.5 over under. Yeah, I would take the over because I think Indiana's offense is better than last year. I think they're not gonna miss a beat. Like they're gonna be fine. The defense didn't lose some guys, but they got 3 All-Americans at every level: Pons, Fisher, Kamara, so they should be fine. They are young at defense. Lewis Moore is playing, by the way. He's suing the NCAA for the eligibility stuff. I don't know if you heard about that. The starting safety. He transferred over from Ole Miss.
No.
He's a 7th-year senior. They're trying to let him not play, but they can't do it right now. So he's only allowed to play the first 2 games. It's really weird. And then they have to review it after the first 2 games.
Well, he needs to.
It's so stupid because he played the junior college. It's the junior college stuff. He played.
I hate that. We need to stop keeping. He needs to move on. Go get your job at fucking Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Who's the quarterback? Fuck.
Diego Pavia. Diego
but there's one that's even older.
I don't think those guys should be allowed to
Calzada.
play. Dude. Calzada, yeah.
He's-
If you already graduated and got your master's degree and you're in the graduate program, bro, you just got to go get your job at Enterprise. It's crazy. That's what you said.
I'm pretty sure Calzada was in the 2019.
He was in the 19 class. He's another kid.
This
from
is
Georgia.
his third school, right? This is his fourth.
Fourth.
Yeah, dude. It's like, dude, fucking move on. Go get a real job, bitch. What are you? It's like, fuck, man. No one wants to see you anymore, bro. It's fucking wild. All right, next game.
Yeah.
So it sounds like we're saying the same thing, but we're on two. We're different though. I took Indiana, you took Old Dominion. All right, next game. Nevada takes on the Penn State Nittany Lions in Happy Valley. Penn State is favored by 43.5. And Donovan, I haven't put money on this yet, but I might. I think I might take Penn State.
You put money on every game. Damn, you're making me jealous.
So I think that James Franklin wants to show off. I think he wants to show off this year. Plus, he does that shit. He's kind of a dick when it comes to the spread. Remember when he ran that last play against West Virginia just to beat the spread?
I do.
That was last year, or was that 2 years ago? Whatever. Like he's known.
It was 2 years ago, but yeah, you're right.
Now Nevada does have Chuba Purdy, Brock's younger brother, who was a former 4-star. So that is interesting. But no,
they were feisty last year too. They were a little feisty team. I mean, they played USC and
they were, but I'm still taking Penn State. I know it's a huge spread, but that's
new head coach too, right? Another new head coach.
Chode, something like that.
Yeah.
Where you at? You take?
They've still got some guys from last year too. I know Herschel Turner's back and Jace Henry, so we'll see. Yeah, I think Penn State covers. They win this game by almost 50 points. Like it's going to be a walk.
Yeah, dude.
This is a game you get Drew Adler's juices. The last throw he threw was that throw in the Notre Dame game. He wants to. This is a revenge tour. That's what Penn. I follow a lot of those guys on Instagram. Nick Singleton and Katron Allen and Drew Allen. They are locked in. And I know we say that every year, but like those guys, they have like this thing going where they're just like, Zero Dark 30. Like all their profile pictures are black. Redemption tour. Like they're ready to fucking go, dude. Penn State's ready.
And they went out and they got.
And that's a team that's a favorite to win. They're third to win, the third best odds to win.
When they went out and they got some studs too. I mean, they got they got some receivers that should be able to do some damage and shit. So,
I think they're the best team in the Big Ten.
I think they are too. If we're being honest.
Now, anyway.
Yeah. So, next game, Montana State plays Oregon. I don't have a spread for this game, but obviously,
yeah.
Dude,
Oregon.
is it me?
I don't have a spread. Is it probably 45.5 or something? If there's no spread, I guess
it's got to be 50. But I feel who cares? Oregon's gonna just fucking smush them, bro.
I do know Nevada's quarterback used to play at Oregon, right? Did I hear that right? He used to be like a backup.
Chuba? Nah, Chuba played at Nebraska, right?
No, not Chuba, not Nevada. Sorry. Wait, Oregon. Who did you say Oregon was playing?
Oregon plays Montana State.
Yeah.
Roy, I think it's me. I think it's my.
It's probably mine. I'm the black dude here. So. Yeah. Probably mine.
We'll both after the podcast. We'll both inspect and we'll update you, Roy.
Did make some bacon earlier, so I don't know.
So next game, Albany plays Iowa. I don't know what the spread is on this either, but obviously Iowa's just gonna fucking demolish them, right? That spread is probably 50 fucking.
Albany, yeah, I don't know anything about Albany. I'm not even gonna like act like I do. There's no cap here, so I'll go Iowa.
Albany is actually so Montana State too. I don't want to shit on them. They are actually
tough. Oh, Montana State, yeah, they do have the quarterback from Oregon. Yeah,
is that right? Oh, okay, and they hung tough with an FCS last year. Albany's pretty tough too.
Yeah,
that's where Jared Verse came from, and they go to the playoffs pretty consistently too. So they're no joke. But I mean, Iowa should still smash them. Next game, New Mexico. The New Mexico Lobos travel to Ann Arbor to take on the Michigan Wolverines. Huh?
I said there we go. I was way too ahead of myself on Michigan. Sorry.
There you go. Yeah, Michigan is favored by 34.5 points. I'm not going to put money on this, but I lean Michigan. It makes me – I never like putting money on a brand new freshman quarterback, but New Mexico did lose their head coach, Bronco Mendenhall left? Yeah. So they're going to be – they're not – I don't think they're going to be very good. But 34.5 points is a lot of points. I'm not going to bet on it, but I would lean Michigan.
Oh yeah, I would go Michigan. Like I was saying earlier, like I kind of spoke ahead of myself, but they obviously do have the big game next week
Yep.
versus Oklahoma and Norman, and they got to get right. They only got 1 week to do it. That's going to be a huge, huge matchup. Kind of like a light version of the little brother version. Actually, I can make that sneak this on this podcast of the game this week. Texas,
Yeah.
Ohio State, little brothers. I know Michigan fans probably not even watching this, but they're gonna hate me for saying that. They're still little brother, even though they won a natty and they beat you guys a lot of times in a row. They're still little brother to me. I think Ohio State's big brother, and then Oklahoma is definitely little brother to Texas right now. I'm not really buying all the Oklahoma hype. Like I like John Mateer and Jaden Ott a lot. I still think their defense is kind of messy, even though Venables is doing more with the defense. He's kind of taken over. I still think their schedules is too hard, and their team's just not a college football playoff team. Like they're an 8-win team at best to me. So I'm not buying all the hype. I know that's next week, but yeah, Michigan wins this game by like 40, 41 points.
Damn.
Sure.
Okay.
Bryson Miller, the truth. Really, really good.
Next game, Missouri State plays their first full-fledged FBS game in LA against the USC Trojans. USC is favored by 35.5. I am putting money on USC. Lincoln Riley is fighting for his job. He's going to want to show off what he's done, and he's just going to slaughter Missouri State. What do you think?
Yeah. Slaughter. I can't believe it's only 35.5.
Yeah.
I guess it's because USC is kind of barely receiving votes in the polls. Like other receiving votes, they have like 2.
Wow.
And now I think USC is a sleeper team. And I know I'm being a homer, probably saying that being a SoCal guy, but
no, dude, they are.
I think they can win like 9 or 10 games this year, which is crazy, but they're just not deep. So injuries might pile up, but I like Jaden Mavia a lot.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that they're a sleeper team as well. Next game, Utah also travels to LA to take on the UCLA Bruins. Utah is favored by 5.5 points. I don't think I have the balls to bet on this game. I lean Utah. Dampier, the quarterback who is a transfer from New Mexico, I think he's really talented. I think UCLA is still trying to figure shit out, right? They just got their Nico hasn't been there for very long. Hell yeah.
What you got?
Gurton filling me in on my fantasy draft, 1 first pick. Very excited for that. Mike, I will watch that. I will watch that later after this. But where are you at, Donovan? You like Utah or UCLA?
Was that a wrestling draft?
So
I saw Royal Rumble and fantasy draft in the same.
Yeah. So what Mike does is he creates everybody in the fantasy draft on his WWE game, and I think it's a couple years old too. Like it's like Raw vs. War. Like it's fucking old. Okay. And then he does a Royal Rumble and he creates your characters. So like, for instance, like I would run out and then you would run out and then whoever's the last man standing gets the first pick.
Got you. That's cool. I like that. I'm a big wrestling fan. That's cool. Not as much anymore. Yeah. That's cool.
Unless you lose to Adam Roode in the ambulance match.
So let me dial back. What game? Go over the game again. I messed up and
Utah
UCLA. Yeah, and Utah's favored by 5.5. Correct?
Yes. Yeah.
I see a lot of people touching this game. This is like a heavily bet game. I saw
really?
CBS Sports was doing their betting preview. I watch. I like their betting guy. I can't think of his name. Salt and pepper guy.
I don't think I'm gonna bet on this.
I wouldn't bet on this. Game's kind of tricky because you just got. I probably would take Utah if I had to pick in the sake of the show. Just because I like Utah. You know what you're gonna get with Utah. Even when they had a down year, you know what you're gonna get with Utah. And then they adding a guy like Dampier instead of having Cam Rising back there, you're going to get so much playmaking ability and skills.
Exactly.
Dampier is one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the country last
he's
year.
Good. He's impressive. He's fun to watch for sure.
Yeah, he's so fun to watch. Small little guy running around. He's great. He reminds me of like a better Chucky Keaton.
That's cool. That's a good comparison.
But yeah, I'll take them because I don't know what you're going to get with Nico. And then I do like Tino Sunseri coming over from Indiana. That's their OC now. That's going to be a big deal. Tino coming over from Indiana. I hate to see him leave the Hoosiers program, but at UCLA he'll do great.
Well, they got 2 running backs I like too. They got Jalen Berger transferring in, and then they got the running back from Cal transferring in. So they did some things in the portal that I like. I think it's too soon for it to mesh properly. And Utah, they're well coached. Yeah, I'm with
Yeah,
you.
I'll go Utah.
I'm not going to bet on it, but I'm with you where I would lean Utah.
I don't bet against Kyle Whittingham much.
No. Next and last game, Colorado State travels to Washington to take on the Huskies, who are favored by 21.5 points. Again, I'm probably not going to bet on this, but I do lean Washington. It feels like they should handle Colorado State pretty handily.
What was the spread again?
21.5. Washington should be an improved team. A lot of people are calling them a sleeper playoff pick. I don't buy into that shit.
A lot of people are calling them a sleeper.
Yeah, see, I don't buy into that, but they should be improved. So I lean Washington here.
Yeah, it's funny you said that because that's one of the teams. Somebody wrote an article about 5 teams that could be the next Indiana, and Washington was one of them.
Of course they were.
Yeah, so that was a team, and I just don't buy it. Like, I think they should be better for sure. I mean, great coach, really good exciting young quarterback. One of the best running backs probably in the conference, man. He's really underrated. He's really good.
Jonah Coleman's fun.
Yeah, so he's got some receivers out there. Yeah, I mean, they can play. They'll cover this game. Even though Colorado State's, they got some good players. Watched them last year versus Colorado, and they got some pretty good team players on their team, and I like their coach, little feisty guy, rah, coming up.
Good fish, yeah.
Well, Fish, yeah, but I was talking about Colorado State's coach, Jay Norvell.
Oh, yeah, Jay Norvell. You're right.
I'm not a big fan of him, like, as a person. He's kind of a dick, but,
he's kind of a dick.
But as a coach, he's very aggressive. That's why this game might not go the way we think spread-wise, because he goes for it a lot. He's very aggressive. So this game could either be super ugly or they might keep it close because he's ballsy, dude. He'll go for it on 4th and 8 at his own 30. He doesn't fucking care. He's wild.
Yeah. He is super aggressive. All right, man. Well, that's all the Big Ten games. Thank you guys for showing up. We're at 50 minutes. I know that I'm annoying Justine because I'm 10 feet away from her, but I'm being loud. So we'll go ahead and shut this down. Donovan, thanks for joining me. And where can they follow you?
Yeah, sorry, I'm a little under the weather still. Some bad allergies. I know I'm sniffing on this show a lot, but
good, man.
Yeah, find my work at Hoosier State of Mind, of course, over on Fansided, and then SEC Unfiltered. I just did it. Actually, it's funny. SEC Unfiltered did an interview with Liner, even though he's Big Ten, Pac-12 guy or whatever. But he was talking about, obviously, this game coming up, Texas, Ohio State, and he was talking about the state of USC Trojan football, and then talking about, Arch Manning, and obviously he worked with Coach Sarks at USC. Coach Sarks has just had the track, and that was Matt Liner, by the way. That's what he said about Arch Manning. Why he has so much hype is because he said it was because of Sarks. He was like, Sarks. Almost every quarterback Sarks has worked with has been a Heisman candidate or All-American. So it's kind of
true?
Yeah,
another thing too.
Matt Leinart
1-6 as an underdog. Fun fact.
Well, and then his Leinart's dark horse Heisman pick was Lenore Sellers. So that's we talk about that too. And I didn't get to talk to him. It was kind of through his media people, but still, it was cool talking to one of my heroes growing up, Matt Leinart. I have his jersey, 2 of them, 11.
Dude, I got his jersey too, bro. I got his.
Yeah. Just check out that. Check out my game by game analysis on Indiana's season. I have them going 10-2. I do have them missing the playoffs, but I have them going 10-2. This year. So and I think Mendoza is – I don't know if he's going to be the first overall pick like CBS Sports said. Ryan Wilson has him as the number 1 quarterback in the country. But I think he is a first-round caliber pick either this year or next year. So I'm excited to see Mr. Mendoza and Indiana. And thank you so much for letting me be on the show, man. I appreciate it.
Man. Yeah, you'll have to come on next week, talk about the Michigan-Oklahoma game. Roy, motherfucker, rewind it, bitch. I'm not gonna repeat
prediction. Shit. All of them. Oh man, he just wanted the Texas Oklahoma.
That's all he wants. Don't say shit. Make that motherfucker rewind. Make that motherfucker. Now, with that said, I do want to point out again, Sark is 1-6 as a dog. We didn't go over that. Ryan Day gets a lot of shit. Yeah, Ryan Day gets a lot of shit for being like, oh, big game, Ryan Day. Ryan Day ran the fucking table in the playoffs, so I feel like we kind of have to. You kind of pointed that out because I was like the one that wanted to fire Ryan Day, and you were like, whoa, dude, chill out. And then he ran the playoffs. It's like you can't really say shit after he won 4 pretty heavy hitting games back to back to back. But Sark, for some reason, no one really talks about the shitty games.
They are this year if he doesn't get it done with this team.
Well, he's never, and I think Sarkisian is a great coach, by the way. I want to be very, very clear. I was in a conversation with another dude who hates him because of what because of how he he didn't have, obviously, you cover USC as well. So we all know what Sarkisian did at USC, and, everybody has their demons, but he handled the situation poorly. Right.
Yeah. I mean,
remember he tried to sue him and shit.
He tried to sue him for like racial profiling because he's Armenian. But I'm like, bro, you're still white. I mean, like,
well, and he was wasted. Like, it's like, dude, you were still. What do you mean, bro? You were drunk all the time.
But that wasn't his lawsuit. That they suing him because they fired him because he was a minority. I'm like, you're not really like a minority.
But that's not why they fired him.
That's a whole nother like stuff.
That would be like if you were like if you were like, I'm trying to think of like if Sharon Moore got fired, he could use that because we don't really know. Like, he doesn't have a resume of being it. Like Sarkisian, we knew that he was an alcoholic. Like, there was like,
oh yeah, there's so many. I mean,
yeah,
and I've got a chance to always interview some players that, yeah, man, like they knew, and that's bad. He tried to hide it, but he had, and he's recovered. He's done a hell of a job at Texas.
No, again, everybody has their demons, and he's recovered from.
He started off rocky though, man, 5-7, and then 8-5, but then last year and then the 2023 season. I mean, you can make the. I mean, he made the playoffs, right? Did they make the playoffs the year before too? The first year?
No.
They did. No, they lost in the Sugar Bowl.
Oh yeah, they did, right? Yeah, you're right. No, I think he's a great coach. He's a top 10 coach in college football, in my opinion. I'm just saying, like, there is a part of society that doesn't feel like he is, because he has had a lot of opportunities and he has not made the most of them. And I know he's at Texas, which has like, the most money and all this and that. Like, everybody assumes Texas is a really easy job, but the last two guys couldn't fucking do it. So ask
Charlie Strong and Tom Herman if that's an easy job.
Yeah, exactly. But I guess my point is that Ryan Day gets a lot of shit, but Sarkisian, like, if we're talking about like big games, Sarkisian is definitely worse in that regard than Ryan Day. So it's kind of shocking that, I don't know, Ryan Day still has that.
Is he worse?
Ryan Day? There's no way he's worse. In big games?
Well, now, yeah, but I mean, before
he won 4 in a row in the playoffs, you could probably make the argument.
I don't know, man. I always gave Ryan Day a pass because even when he lost games, I was like, I feel like they were like the Georgia game. I was like, bro, like, I'm not. That's a loss, but like that's not on Ryan Day, bro. The kicker to make the field goal in Georgia was like that's one of the best college football teams ever. Like, I'm not giving him an L for that. But Texas has just lost to teams that they shouldn't have no business losing to. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But I always gave Ryan Day a pass. Or he lost to the Michigan team that won the national championship. I mean, like, he was losing to good teams. He wasn't losing to bullshit teams. That's why I always gave Ryan Day a pass.
Yeah, but he lost to a bullshit Michigan team last year. So, but
he did that.
The problem with Ryan Day too is Ryan Day has the same problem as Kirby Smart, where it's like they have that mountain that they can't climb. And James Franklin kind of has that same deal, because I think James Franklin is a great coach too.
Franklin's the one that's the new hot seat coach now by far is James Franklin. Yeah, because he can't win. He can't win big games at all.
No, I agree. See, there's always like, but I still think he's a good coach. It's just so interesting how that works.
He's good, but how longer are you going to be 10-2 at Penn State when you have all this talent? Like you have no excuse this year unless it's a Drew Aller injury or some freak accident, but like no excuse to not. I mean, they shouldn't have lost the Notre Dame game last year. I mean, that was coaching though. Like, and Aller just sucking it up, but like,
I don't know. It's interesting. It'll be.
That's why Penn State fans are happy. I think them seeing Ohio State win and Ryan Day finally holding up that trophy is like, well, Franklin, why not Franklin? Like, why not us? Like, obviously, like they haven't had as much success as you guys, but just a coach that's been getting dogged on by his own fan base. You guys are probably worse to Ryan Day than Penn State fans are to Franklin, but it's a little bit.
I would agree with that.
Well, the standard's higher at Ohio State too, though.
Well, I think that the teams at Ohio State were better too. Like the thing about James Franklin is James Franklin came into a situation that was okay. Like Bill O'Brien fixed Penn State. I'm not saying that Penn State was like he didn't do it. Signetti did, but he didn't. But Ryan Day took over. I don't know how to say it. Like Ryan Day took over the keys to a Lamborghini.
Yeah, you always say that, and it's so true. I forget.
Yeah, and James Franklin took over the keys to, like, I don't know, a Lexus. Like, it's still a nice car. But it's not a Lamborghini. You know what I mean? Like, Penn State was not a fucking dumpster fire, but it wasn't a Lamborghini. And then Signetti took over the fucking keys to a goddamn 1989 Honda Del Sol. You know what I mean? Like, there's just different levels.
Yeah.
I think that makes college football so
No,
interesting.
you use that analogy when I brought up Kirby because I was talking about how people were on Kirby's ass in Georgia, but like Kirby took over a really good, consistent team with Mark Richt. I mean, Georgia was winning 9-10 games every year, but they never did it. But that Ohio State was already at the top. Like they,
Yeah, he made Kirby. You could make a case that Kirby and James Franklin have made the places that they're at better. Before last year, you could make the case that Ryan Day made it worse because they weren't winning their conference. They still have not been.
They haven't won yet, right?
Yeah, it's still kind of like, it's weird. It's just a weird situation. Roy coming in beaming with the melty door. I got a BMW with a melted door. The inside.
He still needs, and Day still needs to beat Michigan. Like that's not like. I mean, obviously they win another natty, and that's who he loses to. But like, he's still got to beat it. You can't just keep losing to Michigan.
I'm not gonna lie. He did earn some grace in my eyes. I think that Michigan got better this year. Yeah, I think if he lost to Michigan, people are gonna lose their mind, and it's gonna be unbearable. But I'm not gonna. You're not gonna see the same Josh Keatley that was asking for him to be fired. You're just not because he's proven that that's
the second best coach.
Thorne.
Second or third best coach, maybe in college football.
Well, I don't know about that because that's the thing that's weird about college football.
I'd say Kirby was. I'd say
he's definitely a top 10 coach. It's hard because you have to compare him to guys like Lance Leopold at Kansas, where it's like, is what he doing at Kansas more impressive than what Ryan? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like for Signetti, is Signetti what doing? I mean, he's won every. I don't know. It's hard to gauge those guys because Ryan Day stepped into a situation where he immediately had the best fucking team. Does that make sense? I don't. It
does. It's when you put it that way, it makes it.
It's hard to judge. It's hard to judge him because he didn't have to build anything. Most coaches have to build something, and he never had to fucking do that.
Coach I love at ASU, Dillingham. He, young.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, they were predicted to be dead fucking last, and
then they lost scholarships with Herm Edwards and all the recruiting stuff too. So he really had to get it out the mud, as they say, or obviously big.
So is it fair to say Ryan Day's a better coach than him just because he's won more games? I don't know if that's true. You know what I mean? Or fucking I don't. There's a bunch of guys.
Well, I mean, I'm just not better. Like I'm saying, if you had to pick coaches to start your college program, Ryan Day would be in my top 5. That's what I'm saying.
And I think he would mind too, but that's because I'm biased and he's at Ohio State. I think that there is an objective argument.
Like if Ryan Day was at Illinois or like UTEP, I still think he would be a good coach.
I think so too.
He'd win 7 or 8 games at UTEP.
I think so too. I think that if he was at UTEP, he'd win the Conference USA. Yeah. Maybe once every 3 years. Like I think that he would kill it up there. I think he'd probably even have him in the playoffs every now and again. I think that Ryan Day truly is a great coach. He just can't beat Michigan. There's just something in his head about Michigan. But with that said, I'm saying that I don't really fucking know.
0-4, 0-5. Is it 0-4 or 0-5?
Well, no, they're 0-4. They won in 2019. He won in 2019. He's got 2 wins. He won in 2018 and 2019, right?
I forgot he was a coach in 18. I thought it was 19 when he took over.
Is that right?
No, you would know more than me. You're Ohio State.
I can't remember, dude.
I thought he took over in 19, but you.
Sorry. He coached the first 3 games in 2018. He was not the official. That was when Urban was suspended or whatever. So yeah, you're right, 19. So he's got to win in 19, and they would have won in 2020. That's the thing too. Like that's the thing that makes my Michigan. We'll save my Michigan rant for another episode. But like, it's so funny because like I'll talk to friends that before they didn't care about Michigan like at all, and now they all fucking hate Michigan because their fans are just so obnoxious about what's going on.
Dave Portnoy's on y'all's ass, man.
And that's fine. And
he hates you guys.
He's not wrong. But like the Portnoy thing, I guess we could touch on this a little bit. The Portnoy thing's interesting because like Ohio State should have just let it go. Let the motherfucker show. What's he gonna do? He ain't strapping it on. What the fuck do you care?
You guys said you didn't suspend him though. What's the deal?
They did. Ohio State's lying. They
totally lying. That's what I heard.
They totally had I don't know if they deliberately. Maybe Fox did end up pulling the trigger, but Ohio State. I think what happened based off of my knowledge, when Fox told the Big Ten that they were going to be hiring Dave Portnoy, Ohio State and a couple other schools were like, no, please don't do that. We don't fucking like him. And they did it anyways. And then Ohio State was like, if you hire him, he's not coming into the fucking stadium. And that's kind of what happened. Or if Fox was like, yeah, we don't. I'll tell you what, we'll hire him, but he won't be a part of your guys' shit. Ohio State shouldn't have said shit. They should have just let it go. But at the same time, too, people forget that Dave Portnoy kind of attacked Ryan Day's family.
He did.
You know what I mean? Like he made up that shit about his brother and shit.
Yeah,
and Ryan Day was getting death threats and shit because of it from Michigan fans. Not only was he getting death threats from Michigan fans because of his fucking brother, which was a complete rumor, a lie, a complete made up story, but he was also getting death threats from Ohio State fans because he kept losing to Michigan. Right?
I was like, yeah, I mean, their fan base was.
And then you also have, and then Portnoy is also. He is entrenched. He's not just a commentator. It's not like Ohio State banned Charles Woodson. I saw Charles Woodson every weekend. They never had an issue with Charles Woodson. But Dave Portnoy gave a Michigan player $20 million. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's like it is a little bit deeper than that. Did Ohio State overreact, and should they have not done that? Yeah. They shouldn't have done it. But I think that they should have done it not because they couldn't, because they shouldn't have done it because it got them more attention and makes them look soft. But I don't think that they were wrong for doing it. It's just they shouldn't have done it. Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense. Yeah, I got you.
But like the Michigan, it's just like the penalty too. Like, you know, these Michigan fans are reaching out to me. They're making fun. And first of all, I always said, you can go back and listen to the show, and you were on the show when we were saying this too. I always said nothing is going to happen to Michigan. Nothing is going to happen to Michigan. I thought that they were going to get rid of scholarships, and I thought they were going to take wins away, because when you take wins away, it doesn't really mean anything, right? But I knew they weren't going to get any postseason bans or anything, because we live in a new era of college football where the NCAA can't do anything.
Yeah.
Right. 10 years ago, when Ohio State got bumped for the tattoo shit and they were banned from bowls, or when Tennessee got dinged, or when Ole Miss got dinged, or Minnesota got, all these schools that got dinged, that back then college football wasn't run by fucking Fox and ESPN. Right. But Fox and ESPN, they need Michigan to play. Michigan's got a huge fan base. Michigan's good. They got the number one recruit. What are they going to you can't fucking take that. It's just, they weren't, you always, anybody who knew what was going on kind of knew nothing was going to happen. But they still came out and said that they had more infractions than any school since like Tennessee in like 2001, or like North Carolina when they're letting all those fucking guys cheat and not take classes and shit. Like they were
probably like it's like the whole USC thing too. Like, I mean, that they got like the death penalty to me almost, like all the shit.
And I'm pretty sure that Michigan had more level 1 violations, which is the worst kind, than that USC squad.
Yeah.
Definitely. Which is whatever, but you have these fans running around acting like that doesn't mean anything. Like, ha, nothing happened. It's like, well, nothing happened, but everybody else knows that you're always going to have, there's always going to be like an asterisk or context, because you did break through. Like, it's very clear, right? And Michigan fans have this thing where they're like, well, what do they always say? Like, we didn't break the rules, we exploited them. And they compare it to like Dan Lanning when he put like 12 guys on the field. Well, you broke the rules, and then you got caught. Yeah. Like, it's just weird. It's just weird.
It's just tough, man. I blame the NCAA still. Like, I know Michigan, they cheated. It is what it is. Like, to me now, because it's the NCAA, they didn't fucking have enough rules in play. Like, the NCAA is so messy. Like, it's their fault. If they had structure in the first place with Mark Emmert back in the day, they wouldn't have had this problem. But having no structure,
my understanding,
a bunch of dudes in the room that don't know what they're talking about is just people are gonna break. Like, I get it. Like,
my understanding too, and I'm not going to sit here and act like I read the rule book, but my understanding is that the rules are very clear on scouting, and you're not, the rules are, they broke the rules.
No, I know they're clear. I'm just saying that there's so many schools. Yeah, and they haven't done enough in the past to do anything. Like, they go down on one school, like you said, with the tattoo stuff with Ohio State, or USC with Reggie Bush, but like Auburn knowingly paying. Alabama, all the SEC schools, like other schools, like been doing this for decades and years. So it's like, well, why stop? Like, why not cheat? Like, let's just see who gets caught.
But like, college football is different. College football is different now. You said at the beginning of the show, we got guys playing college for 7 years, because the NCAA can't do anything, right? So Michigan kind of just struck when the iron was hot as far as the rules went.
Yeah,
as far
they
as
have
the
no.
NCAA goes.
That shit happened in NFL. You know what's gonna happen to you if in NFL happens.
Yeah,
You
which
look at
is
what they did to the
I know-
Patriots. They didn't care about them being America's new team, the Patriots. They suspended the GOAT. Like the NFL doesn't care, but they don't. There's NCAA is just letting stuff fly. So it's like they don't have a commissioner.
and not every Michigan fan is like that. Not every,
No.
but there are Michigan fans that like flaunt it, and there are some Michigan fans that are like, man, this sucks. Like we got busted. Like this is tainted. Everybody hates us. But most Michigan fans aren't. They're just very much like, ha 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 ha, look what we did. And it's like, well, that's a weird way. Like Connor Stallions tweeted out the other day. I think it was tweeting to Dave Portnoy, like, I got some tickets. And it's like, what, like, you're still like rubbing it in. Like, I don't, it's just a weird thing to do. It'd be like if OJ Simpson was like, I got some gloves. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, bro,
he got that book. If I did,
yeah. If I did do it, but whatever. That's my rant. And you know what? Too, I stand by this. The person I'm mad at most about the Connor Stallions shit is Ryan Day, because if that was Urban Meyer, he would have just cheated back harder.
Yep, he would have.
Yep. But all right, man, I've kept you for almost an hour and a half. I appreciate you coming on. I'm Josh Keatley. You can follow me on X at JoshKeatley16. Next week, hopefully, we have Chris Rennie back in America, and hopefully, I'm doing a lot better because I lost this Rutgers game. It looks like Wyoming's only winning 3-0, so I'm probably going to lose this game. So
I hope we didn't bet on Boise. I can't believe they got their ass beat that bad. Ashton Genty made their team for sure. 7 points.
I bet on Boise.
Yeah, that's tough, dude. I was gonna take you.
Crazy too is that Brian?
USF's good. USF's really good this year.
Well, that Bynum kid, I remember watching him 2 years ago before Ohio State got Will Howard, and I was like, "That's the dude, Brian. I want you." I was on this podcast. We were doing this podcast, and I was like, the USF quarterback. He's a freshman. He had threw for 3,000 yards, ran for 800. He's fucking insane. Get that dude. And then we got Will Howard. And I was happy, and then Bynum got hurt last year. So I was like, well, he's probably still banged and bruised. Like, that dude's been hurt since that year. Yeah. But it is what it is. I'll let you go, but I appreciate you coming on. And this was the Ohio State My Podcast.